In today's video, I am sharing with you 5 projects using these $1 Dollar Tree canvases. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited you are joining me today. If you're new here, my name is Katelyn and I love all things DIY and crafting. For today's video, I thought it would be really fun to use an everyday item from Dollar Tree and turn these into some really fun decor pieces. So whenever I originally started doing these, I thought that I was going to make all of these projects for fall, but then as I was going along, they all kind of turned into everyday farmhouse decor, but all of these projects could definitely transition into the fall season. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn on your notification bell so you never miss an upload. But let's go ahead and jump on into the video and see how I use these Dollar Tree canvases 5 different ways. Okay, so Dollar Tree has a ton of different canvases out, especially in the Crafter Square section. They have 8x10s and 5x7s and 4x6s and 6x8s, so a ton of different options. I am using a ton of the 8x10s today, but at the end I do use a little bit smaller. But for all of these projects, I will be just using the wood out of these canvases. So the first thing that I like to do to get the canvas off itself is to flip this over backwards and then cut it using a utility knife. I just cut on the outside of the staples and then go ahead and pull that off. On this particular project, I did have to remove the staples out of most of the back of these, but I think moving forward, I just kind of left them on places that you wouldn't notice them. But go ahead and get the staples out of the back. I just like to use a pair of needle nose pliers to remove those, and you can also take a flathead screwdriver and kind of wedge underneath those. I go ahead and glue these together to make a little wooden box, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint these with truffle paint. Now I am making kind of a form of a lantern. I know lanterns can be tricky, sometimes it's hard to make the top, especially if you're trying to go for the little triangular top. So for this, I just wanted to make a really cool little decorative box that I could decorate, so it kind of looks like a lantern, but it's not as much work. So this is super easy to put together. I did decide to go ahead and put a base on this, so using some of my giant popsicle sticks, I pick up these large packs from Walmart. I go ahead and cut the rounded edges off so that I can glue these down to make a flat little bottom. I am wanting my little lantern box to go in with more of my rustic farmhouse, so I am going to go ahead and dry brush on some mineral chalk paint on top of this truffle brown, and I just try not to saturate it too much, but just lightly brush over there and not worrying about it being even, but it just gives it this beautiful weathered wood look, and I think it is gorgeous with rustic farmhouse. I didn't worry too much about this being perfect. If it bothered you, you could fill in the little holes on the edges with wood filler and sand those down, but I just love how it's not perfect and it just makes it look more rustic. I had made some candle holders a few videos back, so I pulled off the candlestick and just put the little plate in there. It was already decorated with this LED candle from Dollar General. I put a few of my little Walmart floral picks in there, but this is how it came together. I think it really just spices up any little lighted candle display and looks really pretty. For the next project, I'm going to be sharing how I put together a little decorative window with these canvases. Once again, I am using the 8x10s. After I got the canvas off, you can see that a couple of the woods little panels are different colors and different woods, so I do end up painting this. I was thinking about staining it, but I know paint will cover up all of the imperfections, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these together. Since these are going to be a larger piece, you have to hurry up and glue all of the sides that are going to touch before you you push them all together, so just remember to do that. I am going to be doing a little bit different of a style. I have made a window out of these same canvases before, and I'll put a picture here, and it turned out so beautiful. So for this project, I wanted it to be more of a longer panel that I could put, like, maybe make 2 of them and put on either side of my television, but I think this is a really cool piece, and it makes like a larger piece just using this $6 worth of canvases. So I glue those together the way that I want them, and then I'm going to go ahead, and since I am painting these anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just make this as nice as I can by filling in all of those cracks with wood filler. I sand that down, and it just gives you like more of a perfect base. So I think it was turning out really good. I knew I also wanted to distress this window, so I went with like a medium gray color. This is the Steel color by Waverly Chalk Paints. So I go ahead and make sure that I get in all of the little cracks and edges so that I can dry brush over this with some of my darker elephant color, and it just gives you like the perfect blend. I also like to do it the opposite way. If I paint something dark with the elephant color, I like to also distress over that with the lighter Steel color. But this was just what I wanted to go with today. I think it is turning out really good. I love how it just makes that dark gray pop off of there and look really rustic farmhouse. A lot of my decor in my home is gray. I wanted to add a little wreath to this window, so I picked up this mini wreath from Dollar Tree, and then I picked up this gorgeous striped ribbon from Walmart in the fall section, and I was super excited to go ahead and get to using it. So I'm going to get to use this ribbon by hanging it off of the window so that pattern will really show up, and then make a little matching bow to go at the bottom. I did want my floral to be really nice quality, so I'm using some of Walmart's lamb's ear, and this is $2 for 2 little stems in here, and this is such nice quality. I just went ahead and cut off those long stems, curved them around, and make them kind of poke out of each side of the bow. Also from Walmart's fall section, I picked up this gorgeous little wooden welcome sign with the green gingham in the background, which I thought went perfect with the colors of this window. Like I said, if I do make 2 to go on either side of my TV, I might change these out. Because they only had welcome and harvest in these signs, and I wouldn't want them to say that all year. But these would be very easily to trade out. Like you can see, I just put that twine inside of that ribbon, and then after I glue it down, I can always just easily trade out that sign and retie a new sign in the front. But this is how it comes together. I think it is a gorgeous piece, and it's so much fun getting to make large wall decor from Dollar Tree for just a few bucks. I had to share those other projects with you first because they were definitely at the top of my list of favorites on this video, but I want to just get back to basics and show you like a really quick 10-minute project that is super easy to use with these canvas DIYs. I know I made some farmhouse signs using these canvas inserts a couple of years ago or maybe last year, and sharing with you $1 farmhouse signs, and these little canvases just make the perfect frames to make farmhouse decor. And I know everybody is making these, but I just wanted to share with you in this video if you haven't seen these before. But I removed the canvas, like I said, just using the razor knife or utility knife, and cut around the staples, pull the canvas off, paint the frame, and then you're able to put any kind of wall art that you want in the back of this little sign. I love using Dollar Tree canvases, so that's how I got my wall art, but Dollar Tree definitely sells tons of signs and paper or decorative folders or anything that you want to put in here. I am using this little farmhouse calendar. It says "Live the Simple Life," which I thought was adorable, and I love how it's the black and white rustic wood, and it lets my lighter brown frame just pop off of there. Now, I wouldn't insert your wall art like this or your canvas page. I definitely recommend Mod Podging it onto a piece of cardboard. Mine had wrinkles because I didn't give it a backing at first, and I add the backing in at the end. But so I definitely recommend it, not doing it out of order. But I go ahead and use some of this thin little black and white buffalo check ribbon or gingham ribbon, glue that to the top. I added a piece of cardboard on the back for stability, and that is how simple it is to create this $1 gorgeous Dollar Tree wall art. Or this makes perfect little tabletop decor, and you could style this with pumpkins or little floral, but it looks so high-end and nice, and I'm so proud that I made this for $1. And then speaking of wall signs or larger wood decor, I wanted to go ahead and share this hack with you all. So a lot of the times whenever you do want to use the little wooden canvases, they are fun to make wall art with or decor pieces, but they are really small and you can't get them really big. But there is a way that if you kind of hack this, you can get larger signs. So I'm using a pair of these new little snippers that I got off of Amazon, and they do take a lot of force to cut this, but it does work. I'll link those down below if you're interested. But I go ahead and just cut the end bar off 2 canvases so that I can put these together. I do go ahead and hot glue them at the ends, but I do want to stabilize them, so I do put a little popsicle stick in the back to just give them extra support, and then using some wood filler, I'm going to go ahead and camouflage that crack. I do decide to go ahead and paint this one again with the truffle color, but I'm not going to distress it with the mineral light color again. I want this one to look a little bit different and darker, and I'm going to be putting a large black word across the front, so I want the frame to kind of coordinate with that, so I will be dry brushing some black over the top of that. I do make sure that I did take my wood filler and fill in those little slots at the edges that the frame fits into each other with. It just makes it look more like a large, solid, natural wood piece rather than having those holes at the edges. And then I needed a backing for this, and I wanted it to look like white shiplap. So taking some of my giant popsicle sticks again, I paint those white, and then I'll cut them down to size and hot glue them across the back. I thought one of these large little, I guess it's MDF, but one of these wooden words from Dollar Tree was perfect for this. They have these really nice large words. They come in family, thankful, and gather. So for this sign, I wanted to do thankful, which is something that I could use all year. I've already used the family sign on a little white fence. So the thankful, I am going to paint it black. I do recommend spray painting these if you can. I'm not sure how the spray paint does on this particular material. I know some MDF does not take spray paint very well, but I know whenever you are just painting this with a paintbrush, it is hard to get in all of the little cracks and little corners of a cursive word like this. So then, like I said, while I have black still on my paintbrush, I go ahead and just rub that over the edges and then hot glue the thankful word down. And I just feel like this looks such like a high-end, nice craft to be made using just Dollar Tree supplies. So whenever I take apart these canvases and I am left with that wood piece, I just got really inspired to create some kind of like a wooden crate. I know wooden crates are so gorgeous and popular this time of year whenever we are going into fall, and then it's something that you can fill with pumpkins and floral and make all cute, and then as soon as Christmas is coming you can pull that out and put some little berries, holly branches in there from Dollar Tree, as well as some different little ornaments, or just really decorate it for all seasons. So I wanted to make like a rustic brown crate that I could use all year, so I'm not going to add a lot of fall words or anything to the front, but to create this I'm using some smaller canvases this time because I didn't want this crate to just be huge. So these canvases are 6 by 8 and they do sell these still at the Dollar Tree. And then I needed some little wood planks around the edges, so once again using some of my giant popsicle sticks, I go ahead and lay them down on top of my little wooden box, and then I can cut them down to size. I was going to leave it like this, but because the corners just don't match up perfect, I thought I would create a little corner that would look really nice and chic versus the little gaps that you see and how it's not cut perfectly. So I go ahead and trim those down and then just glue them on all 4 sides. And then I wanted to add a base in this so that all of my pieces that I put in it wouldn't just fall out. So I go ahead once again and take some more popsicle sticks and just create a nice flat bottom. I am painting this once again with my truffle color chalk paint, but I think fall is just the perfect time to bring in all of the warm browns, and I don't use as much gray and definitely not as much white, so I want warmer brown colors, so that's why I'm using a ton of brown in this project. But go ahead and just paint this with the chalk paint. I tried to do a couple coats so everything would be nice and covered, and then I do make sure that I do go ahead and paint on the inside. You're not going to see all of it, but just in case I do ever want to pull it out and use it for something else, it'll just already be ready. I did try to mix up a lighter color using some of the mineral color, so I just couldn't get the color exactly like I like it, so I just kept adding it in there. I wanted it light but not too light to look like my other project that I did. So then I'm going to go ahead and brush this over. I did try to make sure that I do go the direction of the popsicle stick, so in the center I went sideways, and then on those edges I just went more vertical so that it kind of looked like more realistic wood. To give this some rustic handles, I'm using Dollar Tree nautical rope, and I just tied a couple ends on there so that I could go ahead and hot glue these down. You could drill a hole and make these legit if you wanted to, but these are just going to be decorative and I'm not going to be pulling on this very much, so I'll know to be careful with them. And then to fill in this, I am using some packing paper that came in a recent package that I got. I just go ahead and stuff that down in there so that I can build up this floral. I am using greenery from Walmart and Dollar Tree, berries from Dollar Tree. I think this pumpkin came from Hobby Lobby, which is that gorgeous vintage striped pumpkin, and then I just went ahead and stuffed it with burlap leaves and filled in the edges just to make it look nice and full. And then it turns out to be this gorgeous $5 little crate that I think looks adorable and legit for this fall season. Thank you all so much for coming along and crafting with me today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. These are so much fun, trying to use one item and style it or DIY it 5 different ways. I really enjoy these, so I hope you guys too. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting! Bye!